Peace for me is there is something unmovable, unshakable inside of you, regardless of the circumstances. There is something stable about you, no matter if around you things seem to fluctuate. There is still amongst the fluctuation something still there.
Today, I sit down with the head teacher of the Shaolin Temple Europe and talk about how you can find inner peace. Today's video was made possible at mulliganbrothers.com, where we're having an end of year 2024 sale. Use code 2024 with the link in the description and get buy one, get one free across the Not a Journal, the success journal that changed my life, and the Momentum Mori posters behind me. A poster that absolutely makes me live with passion and purpose because it reminds me of how much time I've used, and every time I fill in a square, how much time I might not actually have left. I don't know if we're going to fill in another one. Link down below, t-shirts and hoodies, and also buy one, get one free using code 2024 at checkout. And all the support goes back into getting us out to places like Germany and the Shaolin Temple to record projects like this. But before that, how do you find inner peace? Let's dive into this with Master Shi Heng Yi.
This one's more of a question I think I would like to have your perspective on from our point of view, because with Mulligan Brothers, our mission is to inspire change, and I feel that's at the core of everything that we're trying to do. And some people ask us why, and I want, it's the same question to yourself as why help others? Why try and be nice to others when you could live a nice life without helping others?
Okay, because I realized, I said in one of the interviews before that we had really difficult times, monastery-wise, to finance it in the very first 5 to 6 years. So, therefore, there was a time when we were also trying to really increase the amount of trainings, where we are going to have seminars for business people, some type of management trainings, and introduce them to different methods that they can maybe use to reduce their stress. Yeah, so like stress management courses. And I have to say, in my whole life, I never had any type of workshops or seminars that were paid so good like these type of seminars. So if I would have went on just making these seminars, which I could have, I really think money would never ever be a problem anymore. But along this way, I just realized something: unsatisfaction. Every time I started to travel and knew now you're going to be there again in wherever, and you're going to invest 8 hours of your lifetime to talk to these people, knowing after this talk, out of the 12, 15 people that are sitting there, 12 people are saying they are inspired, and I already know, and the third or fourth day, maybe 2 of them are going to put something into practice that you are sharing with them. And after 1 month, maybe, hopefully, 1 person is still remaining who is taking some benefit from that amount of time that has been invested. So I was a little bit disappointed, I have to say, that after investing so much time, that the feedback I knew already was very, very little. And that unsatisfaction was not because of the payment. It was because I realized I don't like to invest energy in something, knowing already it's not going to grow. So what did I do? I had to change my approach. I said, if something is supposed to grow, it's unfortunately not enough to only give that initial spark of inspiration in the beginning. It's not enough. It needs just like a small flower. You plant the seed and you give water and sunlight on a regular basis. This is more that is going to lead to some type of growth. And this is why all the type of engagements that we meanwhile have, none of them is made for first time. Because first time is never enough. Only when people stay with something, only if you a little bit take care of them, and let's say let's say you take them on the hand and take them with you, so you are along their footsteps, walking next to them. This is something where then you can witness their growth. And something like this, to see that people becoming more happy, people becoming more healthy, issues people had before start to disappear, thankfulness returns back in their life, harmony returns back in their life, joy comes back in the life of some person, and this because you were a part of that process. No money in this world gives you the same feeling. And this is why I like this work. Because it is paying you something back that money cannot do. And it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I have a purpose. I know that after witnessing such days, it's not a wasted day for me. Things can still go wrong, whatever, but if I know on that day you really supported one person, yeah, and you saw he really made some progress, he had a breakthrough whatsoever, yeah, it's good. I feel good. And yeah, that's why I think there is something similar in the way how we approach these things. And this is just, like I also mentioned before, doing or experiencing these type of things is the only way to get to answers. Yeah.
How do we find peace?
Yes, sir. At least I'm happy you didn't ask how do we find happiness, because my search, in a way, I stopped searching for that term or the fulfillment of happiness, because it might just not be there. It might just be a word for another illusion, for another concept that we have maybe put into ourselves that needs to be achieved somehow. Let's just assume this happiness, whatever it is, would mean that there is something fluctuating, uprising outwards, upwards, happiness, joy, like that euphoric feeling. So so there is movement. There is movement in whatever direction, doesn't matter. Wherever you have movement, you always have counter movement. It is that picture, if you have a lake, an ocean, and that ocean is still, or that water is standing still. If you start to tap on it, you will have up ripples and down ripples. If you don't want to have ripples, you cannot touch it. So, and very similar, it is now with that idea of, if you think happiness is something which is uprising, then it just means in the moment you feel that uprising, sooner or later you will feel its counterforce, which is the decline of something. So no, happiness is not what we're looking for. But peace is something different. Peace for me is, there is something unmovable, unshakable inside of you, regardless of the circumstances. So you found a place that you can, let's say, mentally go to where you feel there is nothing fluctuating regardless of what's happening out there. Because you found something about you. You found something that nothing can be added to it because it's complete already, and nothing can be taken away from it because there's nothing you can lose. If something like this starts to arise in the way of your perception, I think that is a state which is peaceful, and gives you that peace of mind. Because what should you worry about if there is nothing to worry? Of course, now many people will say, yeah, but I have a child that I need to take care of. This is at the moment not the level that I mean. It's something different. It's a very deep level of feeling. You know it can't go wrong. Does it make sense? Like, there is no fear. There is no fear. There is no, in this field of fluctuation, when you have the up and downs, it's the same like when you have the life and the death still chronologically after another. All of these expressions for me is very, very similar. As long as there is movement, you will always be confronted with this idea of dualism, with the existence of like both sides. So, peace means there is something stable about you, no matter if around you things seem to fluctuate. There is still amongst the fluctuation something still there. And if you have access to that, if you can center yourself, if you can calm yourself, calm the mind, it means stop the movement. Stop the movement and you will enter at peace. You know, it's very difficult sometimes if people already have like preconditioned thoughts and they hear peace, there's nothing moving. It sounds boring. But that's not it. No, it's the same like you can either deny life or you let life flow through you. Both of them is called submission. Yeah? And I think a moment of peace, let's see if I can put it into this picture, is there was one time when I went to Thailand. I traveled there together with another master brother. And you know, even me being here sometimes in the monastery, knowing the surroundings, knowing this type of structured way of life, day in, day out. So also for me, when I then had some time to get out of the monastery and then especially going to Thailand. You know, Thailand sometimes translated also means free land. That Thai is like a free. And the reason is because it feels like this over there just by the circumstances. Make it easy for you to somehow have that feeling that you're in a land where you can actually quite do a lot of things as long as you abide to the rules without harming anyone. But one of these moments was that I sometimes like to ride motorcycle. So over in Thailand, I also had like a scooter that I rented. And now just imagine you are like driving with a scooter through a jungle, like really nice roads, really epic scenery. Like 40 minutes you drive up the roads, until I ended up at the top of a mountain where was a restaurant or a small coffee located. And so I stopped over there and was standing at that balcony from that coffee, which was pointed towards the complete jungle valley. And then I was standing there, having that coffee in my hands, watching down, seeing like the monkeys jumping around in the jungle there. The fog covered parts of the trees already, and I don't know how to express it. But this is like such a moment where something like boom starts to open for me, where I just say, this is like better than a movie. You know, you ride with your motorcycle through the jungle, stand on top of a mountain, drink your coffee and watch down while the monkeys are jumping around down there. And that is a moment where then suddenly something opens, where like it feels like that life is coming back into you. Yeah, and this is it, where that peaceful moment comes, where that peaceful moment starts to open up, because you are only in observation mode. There is nothing that you are adding to that scenery. There is no expectation that now you are comparing to, expectation met. No, it's the realization, that's it. That's it. That is this very special moment right now that's not going to happen anymore. But you just realized it. That is this feeling, which goes hand in hand with that type of peace. Because only when the peace is there, you are going to look out at something without adding anything. And because you are not adding anything, this is why you're completely open to receive. That maybe merges that word peace like the best if I would have to describe it.
Inner peace and being kind to other people is, for me, the epitome of what people call happiness. For me, it's contentment. When I help somebody else, and when I can find that inner calm, I am just, people, I don't like to use the word happiness because I feel like happiness is almost an invested feeling. I don't try and invest in high feelings because then you invest in the low feelings. But I feel like this is just a contentment. I feel full. I feel there is nothing, I don't need for anything. I don't want for anything because I'm helping other people and I am peaceful. Peace is not an investment. You're not investing in how peaceful you are, the intensity of peace. Peace is just peace. You can't invest in a low, you can't invest in a high. And aiming for that and helping other people, I just think is the best thing. We recommend helping others all the time. We try and, our message is inspire change. And for me, inspire change came about because I'd seen somebody doing an action for somebody else. And because I'd seen them doing an action for somebody else, they inspired me to go and help other people. So helping others, whilst it makes you feel great and it gives you that inner peace, it'll also inspire other people if they saw you doing it. But here's the thing with that is, for it to actually have impact, it has to be authentic. So you can't do something with the idea that somebody might be watching. You do it, you give without expectation. And that's the most important thing. Give without expectation. Maybe someone does see it, maybe someone doesn't. Maybe you just inspired that person that you gave to and helped. It is that time of year. It's a great time of year now to start leading with kindness and fulfilling that for the next year. 2024 is around the corner and it's a great place to start from. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who supported the projects we have with the Shaolin Temple Europe. We have some incredible guest speakers on the page as well, so please go check them out. And to be able to get out to Germany, to be able to do this, yes, it was supported by you guys. I know some people get frustrated with these, these ad spots, but all the profits from the website go back into creating this content. And without your support, I just couldn't do this. We take a full film crew, 4 people, 4 people this year, a van, a truckload of all the equipment, cinematography gear, there's 4 red cameras, there's the media, the data, there's food to pay, there's wages, all this kind of stuff. And because you guys support us at mulliganbrothers.com, we can do that. And I know sometimes it gets frustrating. People are like, just share the message, shut up with the ad spot. But this is the way we do it, guys. And for those who understand that, thank you so much. I could not thank you guys enough. There is a sale on at mulliganbrothers.com right now. It's code 2024 at checkout. You can get the Memento Mori posters behind me, the posters that remind you you're gonna die. It's just to remind you you're mortal. And that's my poster right there with my life on it. I fill in a square each week. I've got one on my fridge at home. And it's a very humbling experience. And I live with passion and purpose because I get to see that every single day. And then the success journal, the Not a Journal, ironically named the Not a Journal because journals became ridiculous, too much fluff. You did not need what they're putting out there. And this is the journal I used to create this whole business and this studio. And then, well, I had a version of this journal and worked so well for me, I was like, why don't I just make it into an actual journal? And then you guys sold it out straight away. They're all back in stock. They'll probably be sold out again quite soon because we're doing the buy one, get one free. But it's buy one, get one free across everything on the website. So thank you so much. And I do mean that. I know it's frustrating sometimes to hear these messages at the start of hearing the great speaker like Master Shi Heng Yi, and then I come in and I say something like this. But this is how we do it. And we continue to have to support the production of these projects, which, you know, we're trying to get to a Netflix level on a YouTube budget. It's so impossible. So that's why we have to keep doing this. But thank you to everybody who understands. If you want to support us further, the biggest thing that I ask is you don't have to do this. We don't ask you to do this. But if you could subscribe and hit the notification bell, if you got something from the message, share it with somebody. An act of kindness, share the message with somebody, share the videos with somebody. Keep coming back for our other speakers as well. And yeah, thank you. It's been a great year. We're closing out, but I'll tell you this much. We have 6 new projects with Master Shi Heng Yi, and I mean new projects. We just got back from the Shaolin Temple. And I have some very, very incredible projects for the new year. So please keep your eyes peeled. I'll see you in the next one. Love you all. Thank you for supporting our family. I appreciate it. Peace.